cannot Jehovah, swear by the name of the Almighty God, that the evidence I shall give touching on the matter in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, what's your full names? Your full names?
My names are Archbishop Garrison Kanori Joroge.
Archbishop
Garrison
yes.
Kanori Joroge.
Kanori is K-A-N-O-R-I.
F-R-I.
Okay. Jeroge.
You know Wings of Life Gospel Church
Yes,
International.
I'm the Archbishop and minister of that church.
Are you the chairman and the general overseer?
I am the chairman of the General Overseer of Wings of Life Gospel Church International.
Okay. You're conversant
Yes, I'm
with
conversant.
issues of this
Yes,
particular
I'm
case,
conversant.
correct? You're conversant with the suit property.
Yes.
When did you enter that suit property?
Initially, we entered that land in 1991. We were temporarily allowed to be there, and I was the only person occupying the whole land.
You're talking of 1991.
1991. Allowed 1993 there.
Mr. Kauzi,
Yes.
please note that we are not conducting a trial.
Yes.
It's only giving you the issue of contempt of court.
Yes, correct. Now, sorry,
It's only stick to relevant
correct.
issues.
You have heard about this particular plot from one Hussein Adan Somo. That is the first defendant.
Yes, recently, this year, I came to know about Hussein Somo. We were officially allocated this land in 1997.
1997.
We have a letter from the then Nairobi City Council. There was a case like this one, the same year, another person claiming that property, and it was determined in our favor. So this is our first case on that land.
You allocated the land when?
1997. And we have the allocated land, and we paid everything on that.
So allocation was 1997, but you occupied
We had occupied earlier.
earlier. Who had given you authority to occupy earlier?
The council itself.
The council itself. Okay. You've heard about Hussein Somo,
Yes.
and you are saying something when you came to know about him.
Yes, I came to know about him this year.
Yes.
He used to carry, there's a day he drove to the church and said he's Mheshimiwa,
Yes.
and he wanted to talk to me.
Yes.
I was given my number, I talked to him. Then he said he wanted that land. I told him to write a letter to that effect, which he never wrote.
Yes.
Then on that festive night, he came another day, kept a vehicle on the gate, and some people came claiming to be from Nairobi Metropolitan. And they said there is a through way to the village. They never mentioned about the church. And we should remove the gate so that they can go through. But by that time we had heard rumors about one Hussein that is governing the properties of that land. So we refused. And I came to you, and you wrote a letter to Nairobi Metropolitan, and we gave them the map of that area that there's no through way.
Okay. Now, you are in possession. That is what you say.
We were in possession.
What had you put within your land?
There's a lie I want to dispel here. That land was officially divided between two churches. And by then, they were not, the allotment letter reads A and B. But since I was there earlier before the demarcation, there was a servant quarter which was on the other portion of the land, because it was demarcated later. And theirs is known as, the allotment letter reads A. our allotment letter reads B. All the other E, C, D, whatever is mentioned here are neither here nor there.
So there are no ECD.
We don't recognize that.
Yes.
We don't recognize that.
Now, what had you put in your land in which you are in possession and occupying?
Now, when it was demarcated,
Yes.
we discovered the altar of the older church was in the other church. And we had an agreement.
You are saying you understood that? You are saying something, I've missed that?
Yeah,
Yes.
repeat. Yes.
I have to say that because I settled their area, when the demarcation was done of A and B, part of the altar of our church,
Altar.
altar,
Yes.
Matabahu,
Okay.
was on the other portion of the land, that is A.
Yeah, you need to get that.
Yeah. And we agreed with them, and they are ready to
No,
testify
let me
on that.
Put that down. That was part of your altar.
Yeah.
That's part of your church building.
And the temporary structure, which was temporary.
The church which was temporary church. You put in a temporary church.
Yeah, which was there now before the demarcation.
So that fell in which portion?
The altar.
It fell on A. According to the allotment letters that both churches were given, and they were given on the same date. Both churches were given allotment letter on the same date.
Okay, I've got that.
Now, we say this, we are going to construct now a permanent church. And we applied, and it was gazetted. And newspaper was put on. And we were given all papers by now in Nairobi City County. And we paid everything. We have the receipts, and we have the approvals. Below the church, where we are now constructing the new church, a big church, there were some houses that we had allowed somebody else, a friend, to construct. Then after he gets his own money, he will leave the structures on us. So there were some structures again. Now, when the main church now building, which we have already invested over 17 million Kenya shillings, was almost complete. Lo and behold, at the night of April 13th, the tractors came in, rumbling there, and over 400 goons, and over 40 police officers. There was no put under. And everything was demolished, a Bible school, a children's center, offices, a temporary church, the permanent ongoing structure. They did that for 2 days because the main building was very strong. It had very strong pillars. A lie has been told in this court that the wall was done on 14th. The wall started going up in June. As I have requested that we can go and set aside, that wall cannot be done in 3 or 4 days. It's a major wall. When he was given the under and served, we have tried 3 times peacefully to go and get the land, because the under never talked about worship, but that under, the way I understood it, though I'm not a lawyer, said that he vacates and the land reverts to how it was on the 13th. If the land belongs to us, he has been saying again and again the land belongs to him, and I want to make it clear here from the allotment letter of 1997, the Lord belonged to us. No wonder we were allowed to build. No wonder it was put on the papers. And nobody came to say the Lord belonged to us. How he got the papers is a story we shall tell on the main case. He has never allowed us to step on there. When we went there, the last time we went there, there were over 30 goons with pangas and arrows. We were chased away, literally chased away. We believe in peace, so we just left peacefully. He has been trying to bring in a very dangerous angle, Your Honor. Today he talked about being a Somali, that is tribalism. In the other affidavit, he talks about being a Muslim. I was there on 4th when he was demolishing our church, and I never saw the so-called Muslims. I saw Hassan Hussein. So we have nothing to do with, we are not accusing any Muslim. Neither do I believe a proper Muslim can destroy a church. I can't believe in that. There's no Somalis. This is Kenya, and there's nothing happening because he's a Somali or whatever. Neither, we are not, it's not a Somali versus Kikuyus. It's a church versus one Hussein Aden Somo. He has never allowed us to step on that land.
Now, is there any, you heard him talk about another church. Can you explain that?
In that area, we have what we call A, there is B. They were later given other numbers, but I want to emphasize on their ultimate letter. And like at the tip, there's another church called Church of God. He demolished our property, went ahead and demolished that church. Sijui alikuwa na kizazi gani na makanisa.
Is that the probable case that he has with another church?
I think so.
So is the other church, the so-called Church A, that was given an allotment together with you, as I understand it, is it still there?
It is still there.
Yes.
And even there was a time we had an agreement, which was, I think you found it in this court.
Yes.
On the Ziwa line.
Yes.
And it was clearly we were one and we didn't have any problem.
So in your own view, you have not been allowed any access or any possession back?
Not even an inch.
Okay. Now what
the
happened?
gate has never been opened.
Yes. What happened to the material that
Hussein Aden Somo can tell us better. The books, the thousands of books from our library, from the Bible school, computers, and many other things. He knows, and the materials which had built that church, we had iron sheets for Lee, and also the timber and everything, cement which was there.
Now, this matter comes up as we stand here. It is actually for sentencing. It's actually for sentencing. What would you like the court to do to Hussein, who is before court for sentencing?
I would like this court.
In view of what you have said, that
like
you have not, orders have not been complied.
The orders have not been complied.
Yes.
I would like this court to stop arrogance, because with arrogance and impunity in Kenya, we shall have a problem in future. So Hussein needs to be taught that court orders are to be obeyed. When we were given a court order to vacate that land, in 1997 for it to be vacant. As the court went on, we left. We obeyed that court order, and the records are in the court. So I hope he should always obey the court order and then complain later.
You've also